This video has been kindly sponsored by Hooks and Needles. If you've watched me for a while now, then you should know that I love a good challenge, and this time around it's no different. I'm gonna challenge myself to see how much I can crochet and knit in one whole week, and I have no idea how this is gonna go. I'm hoping I could get everything that I planned out done, but I'm probably gonna get like 2 things done if we're being honest, but that's why it's a challenge. Like, I'm gonna challenge myself to get all of these projects done. I'm gonna have a set schedule and I'm gonna have all the projects planned out and it's gonna be good. We're gonna do this. There is a bunch of projects that I have on my list of wanting to make for myself, but I just haven't gotten around to it because I prioritize some projects over others. So this is also gonna be fun because I get to have new stuff for my wardrobe as well as other projects that I need to get done for friends and family. After spending my Sunday planning out my schedule and some designs and sizing for my projects, I was all set for the challenge. I had a total of 10 projects in mind for this challenge. The first is this beautiful vintage sweater from the brand Pachamama. I saw it on Instagram and then again on Pinterest, and I knew I had to make this for myself because where else am I gonna get it? The yarn I got for the sweater is from Hobby, and it was actually incredibly difficult to find the perfect chunky yarn in this specific shade of green. So thank you, Hobby, for having this yarn on your website. The next piece I wanted to make is this celestial blanket. I always see this blanket on Pinterest, and I think I would love to have this blanket, especially since fall is coming up. The yarn I'm using is from Joann's, and I got these huge skeins when they were having a half-off sale on the yarn, which made me really happy. Hooks and Needles is a subscription service that offers either crochet or knitting kits, and they sent me 1 subscription box from each category. So I'm going to be making 1 piece from each of those, which is exciting. I would also love to make a cute crochet apple bag. These are incredibly pretty, and I could easily use the yarn I used for my strawberry tote bag for this. My boyfriend wants a granny stitch button-up shirt like this, which looks pretty easy to figure out, so I'm going to try to do that with this yarn that I also got from Hobby. I want to make my friends hats from the yarn they got in Chicago, which shouldn't take long at all to do since it's just a magic hat with ruffles and then a cat beanie. And then if I get to it, I would like to redo my recreations for Kiara and Nicole for my summer recreations. I got smaller yarn for them, and I have a good feeling that they'll come out beautifully this time around. Since I have a lot of projects I want to get done, I made myself a little schedule that hopefully I can follow so that everything gets done. Looking at this schedule, I'm noticing it's probably heavily overlooking how long some of these projects usually take, but we'll just see how this challenge goes. Good morning, everybody. Right now it's Monday, August 26th, and it is 9:40 in the morning, and I am just really excited to start this challenge. I got myself ready by doing a 30-minute workout. I went for a little walk and I ate my breakfast, and now I'm ready to go. I already have my crochet basket all set and ready to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the blanket first since I feel like that's gonna be the one that takes the longest to do. While I crochet, I'm gonna catch up with some albums that I haven't listened to yet, like Babe Adobe, Magdalena Bay, Raven Lene, Sabrina Carpenter, and maybe an old Bjork album I haven't listened to yet. I also have on a cozy fit, which is just a Spider-Man t-shirt and some cozy sweats. So with all that said, I am gonna go ahead and get started. I got started by figuring out the granny square patterns I was supposed to do, and it took me a total of 2 hours to figure them out because the sizing was slightly off, so I had to redo 2 of them with a larger hook, which made me a bit sad, I'm not gonna lie, because that took out extra time out of the day, but at least I redid them now and not after I finished like 20 of them, you know? I moved to the living room since the other room gets incredibly hot in the afternoon for some reason, and just worked on the squares. I had some fruit as a snack, and I couldn't really concentrate on any of the music I wanted to listen to due to me concentrating on the granny squares, so I just threw on Spider-Man, which I've seen a billion times, just for some sound in the background. It is 4:11 right now, and so far I've finished 21 stars and 22 suns. I decided to do the middle parts first since you have to cut them off anyway and then attach your yarn, and so I was like, it might be easier to just get those out of the way and then add the border like it is right here. I did that. I haven't done anything with the moon. With the moon, I'm gonna do that like separately and just like do the squares individually, but I'm gonna take a break to eat because I'm hungry and my hands are starting to hurt a little bit, and then when I get back I'm gonna do all of the borders for these. I took a little break to eat and made 2 different vegan grilled cheeses, one with kimchi and one just with plain cheese, tomato, and spinach, which were both very good. I ate it while watching a different Spider-Man because once you put on one Spider-Man movie, you just have to watch them all. This is random, but do any of you who really love music and making playlists, do you like making playlists themed after certain characters? Like I recently just finished one for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, like what that specific Peter Parker would listen to, what Miles Morales would listen to, a playlist that reminds me of the personalities and troubles Marin and Lee from Bones and All went through. I don't know why, but making playlists is one of my favorite pastimes. Like eventually I think it would be so cool to be a music curator, but I have no idea how people do that or get into that field, so I'll just stick to making them for myself. Right now it's 10:30 and I think I'm gonna call it a night. I didn't finish as much as I wanted it to. Like I had planned, originally I planned to finish all the granny squares today and then put the blanket together tomorrow, but that probably wasn't gonna happen at all. So then my next goal was to do all of the star ones and all of the sun ones, and then tomorrow I do the moon ones and then attach everything. So I finished all of the sun ones, thankfully. I finished these at like 8 p.m. and then this is how many of the star ones I finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then these are all the ones I have left. And then I obviously have the one moon one right there. So I got a lot done, surprisingly. I might do like 4 more tonight before I go to bed, but that'll be after like I wash up and everything. And then I can save these for tomorrow and then do the moons. And maybe tonight, since I'm watching Spider-Man right now, I might do some weaving just to save myself some time. And yeah, today was a mixed bag. The way that I started was off. Like I wasted those 2 hours by messing up a whole bunch, but I did get on track later on, and for the most part, I did get a lot done. I won't sell myself short. I did get a lot done. For crochet, it takes a long time. And I just need to remember that because I'm always like, oh, I can finish this in a day. And then I end up taking 3 days to finish it. Hopefully that doesn't happen with the blanket. But at the same time, I'm not gonna rush it for the sake of, oh, I can crochet 80 things in a week. Like, no, I'm gonna take my time because if I rush it, I'm gonna injure myself, you know? So I'm gonna enjoy the process and see how many things I can crochet naturally. I'm not forcing myself to speed through. I am challenging myself a little bit, I will say, just a little bit. But if I do need breaks, I will take them. With that said, I will see you tomorrow morning. The next day, I got straight into working on the rest of the squares. I attempted to listen to Baby Doobie's new album, but because I had to concentrate on the stitch counts and specific pattern with the granny squares, I was eventually tuning it out and had to switch over to watch YouTube instead. I listened to it later on though, and it was pretty good. These were my favorites from the album, but even then I really enjoyed just having this album play in the background. I also listened to these albums, which I have my favorites underneath, and I think out of all of these albums, my favorite was definitely the Raven Lene album. But all 3 albums were really good. Hello everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, and I finally finished both the suns and finally all of the stars. I just finished the stars like 20 to 30 minutes ago, and I just automatically went ahead and got started with the moons. So far I have 3 moons done in total, and I'm definitely gonna finish them today. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on where I'm at. It's going good so far. I'm enjoying myself just watching more YouTube and also eating some peaches before peach season goes out. But these are incredibly hard. Like, listen. Like, it's like I'm eating an apple, but it still tastes good to me, so I don't care. My cozy fit for today is this Totoro sweater I got for my birthday. It's really cute. I'm gonna have this little undershirt going on, and then some brown sweatpants. So super cozy. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get back into this because I really want to finish all of these moon squares today so I can start putting it together at least. My boyfriend Sean got me onigiri, and yeah, I just kept working on the squares. I'm someone who has the privilege of knitting and crocheting for a living, and while yes, it does take a long time, it's something that will take even longer when you're working a normal 9 to 5, going to school, or even working from home, because it's not about how fast you're knitting, it's about how much time you have. So I'm doing this challenge just because it's fun, but I don't want to make it seem like it's braggy, like, oh, I can make X amount of pieces in a week, or make you feel like you're not as good, when that's just not the case. This hobby is about the time it takes to finish it, the journey to finishing the project. So there's no point in rushing it. You're supposed to enjoy the slowness of it and let it soothe and relax you, and also let it make you have fun and be cozy. I don't know if that sentence made any sense, but yeah. I'm not saying this only to you all, but to myself as well, since I do get caught in the whole I need to finish this as fast as possible so I can post it to stay consistent thing, which is difficult to balance when this is a full-time job. But I like to make sure I'm staying calm and having fun throughout the process, which makes me fall in love with it even more. This was completely random, but I just felt the need to say that, so yeah. It is 7:07 and I've officially finished all of the squares. So now I'm gonna take a break and then put them all together. Right now it's almost 11 o'clock and I finished putting some rows together, and I did one extra row, but I am getting tired right now, so I'm gonna save the rest for tomorrow. The star squares, I realized too late that they are like kind of poofy, but hopefully washing it will fix that a little bit. Today is Wednesday and I already put everything together on the blanket. So now I'm just working on the edges. I decided to go for like a little ruffle edge, the same way that I usually do all my blankets, just because it's easiest and I think it's really cute. So I'm just gonna be working on this. I'm almost like completely done. And what I'm deciding to do is ignore all of the ends that I have to weave in and just do that last. So after I finish all the pieces that I'm able to do this week, the next day, like probably Monday, I'll just take that day to weave in all the ends if I don't already weave them in as I go. So this blanket won't take as much time and I can just go ahead and start all the others. At exactly 11:49 a.m., the blanket was complete, minus the ends not being weaved in, but it's complete. The next piece I began to work on was from Hooks and Needles. Hooks and Needles is a subscription box service that I think is perfect for anyone who loves to knit or crochet. You get a different box each month, and each comes with a little booklet with 3 different patterns to choose from, as well as everything you need to complete your chosen project, like your hook, yarn, tapestry needles, and scissors. They even have really cute recipes in the back of the booklet that I'm definitely trying to bake in the future. Out of all the patterns that Hooks and Needles offers, I think I'm gonna do the headband one because I've never done a crochet headband before. I know I attempted 2 knit ones, but from what I can remember, I don't think I've ever crocheted a headband. So this should be exciting. It does look really cute. And also, besides this book right here, this is the first time I'm following a written pattern. Like usually if I need help on something, or I don't know how to create something with knit or crochet, I'll just look up a YouTube video. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the headband. Working with the headband pattern was incredibly easy, which is great in case you're a beginner, but I do wish the pattern was a little bit more descriptive because I did get a bit confused on 2 separate steps, but thankfully the pictures were there to assist me in getting rid of that confusion. This was my first time making a sailor's knot and even tying anything in this way while crocheting, so it was a pretty interesting learning experience, and I think doing a knot like this would be cool to implement into one of my own patterns at some point. If you're interested in getting your own subscription box from Hooks and Needles, you can use the link in the description box below and my discount code to get 20% off your first box. Here is the result of the headband I just made. I'm not sure if I did the knot correctly in the middle. It says it's a sailor's knot. I've never done that before, and I was struggling a bit with the pattern since I am just someone that is better with like video tutorials rather than written tutorials. and I feel like that's literally the only reason why I was struggling. But other than that, it is easy to follow and understand, especially with the pictures, and the yarn was really easy to work with as well. I know I said I was gonna work on the 2 hats after this, but I really want to get started with the sweater. Like, I'm very excited to wear this sweater during the fall time, so I just want to have it ready for myself. So I am gonna go ahead and do that instead. I got all my materials together, made a vegan chicken sandwich, got comfy on the couch, and got started with the swirl sweater, which I worked on for the rest of the day. Right now it's 9:30 on Thursday, August 29th, and yesterday I only got done like 30 rows because I just called it quits around 9 o'clock. I was really tired and I just called it an early night. So today I'm just gonna be working on the sweater all day, and I don't know how entertaining that's gonna be, so I probably won't record until tomorrow with progress on the sweater. It's already Thursday and I am a little bit worried about not being able to do the other projects. I feel like the only ones that I'll get done is this sweater, the blanket I just did, and maybe the 2 hats for my friends. Oh, I also did that headband as well. And any of the other large projects, I just don't think I'm gonna get done this week, which is okay, you know? But I'm not gonna sound like a broken record and be like, oh, it's not a rush, whatever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and work on the sweater and see you when I see you. Day 4 and 5 were both spent the exact same way, just working on the sweater while watching either YouTube, a movie, or listening to music. While working, I was thinking of how to be more productive with my time, like if there was a way to multitask while also knitting the sweater. Like I could listen to audiobooks to get my reading goals out the way, but it really depends on the person's voice for me. I tried listening to an audiobook for Another Country by James Baldwin, but after attempting that, I concluded that this was the type of book that I just need to read with my own inner voice instead. I did take an incredibly long break on day 4 and ended up decorating the living room for fall. And when my boyfriend got back from work, he stopped in the middle of the living room, looked at me and shook his head and went, "Mija, it's August." But I'm like, after my birthday, it's just immediately fall to me since my birthday is on the 18th. Plus, day 4 was only August 29th. It's not like there were many days until September anyways. And we're gonna be in Japan most of October, so decorating a little early doesn't hurt anybody. I've been making it a goal of mine to invest in used physical media like DVDs, Blu-rays, vinyls, CDs, books, cassettes, the whole shebang. And recently, I ordered a bunch of DVDs from eBay that were like $3.99 each, and I spent the evening watching some of them like Begin Again, Juno, and Stick It. Good morning, everybody. Today is August 31st and it is 10:32. For the past 2 days, I've been working on the sweater. I finished a whole front panel and I did my back panel, which is almost complete. I think I have like 20 more rows to do, 20 or 30. But I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this sweater in the next 2 days. So I'm gonna take today to just work on all the small projects that I really want to get done, like my 2 hats, the Kiara top I want to redo. I want to do another piece from the subscription box, the hooks and needles one that I just got, and I also want to make the apple bag. I really want to make that. So I'm not going to waste any time and I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. I started with the round hat, which only took me an hour to do, and then immediately switched over to the cat beanie, which only took me 2 hours to do. I just finished both of my friends' hats and now I'm going to work on the next project, which is this knitted mug cozy. I'm going to be using the knitting version of the subscription box. I got the crochet version and the knitting version, so I was going to try both. I don't feel like making the apple bag anymore, and I feel like I would be happier to continue working on my sweater just to see if I could get it done. I probably won't, but I might. At least the body of it and the sleeves, and so later down the line when I have free time I can do the graph, because I definitely won't be able to do the graph here. But I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this and I'll see you when I'm done. For this pattern, which is for a mug cozy, it was incredibly simple. I already have experience working with cables, and even though the cable in this pattern was one I've never done before, I was still able to immediately get used to the pattern. I didn't have any issues and honestly loved working on it. Working on it actually reminded me of the behind the scenes videos of them making the Coraline sweater, since the needle size was way smaller than a size I'd usually use, but I eventually got used to it and continued working on the cozy. cozy. I didn't have a mug exactly for a cozy, which I didn't think of until after going to my kitchen and seeing all my giant mugs. So I just used this glass to demonstrate how it came out, and I think it's incredibly cute. On the last day of the challenge, I was just hyper focused on the sweater. I knew for a fact I was not getting it done in one day unless I wanted horrible neck, back, arm, and hand pain. So I worked on it, but also spaced out how much I was working on it. But surprisingly, I got a lot done. I finished the back panel, put the front and the back together, then started on the arms, which were a lot smaller than the front and back panels, which meant they took less time to do. So when those were done, I attached them to the sweater and I actually was able to finish the body. It is 10:44 on Sunday. I have 1 hour and some change before it is time for this challenge to end. And I have officially finished the base of the sweater. I still have the middle part to do, and I'm definitely not finishing that middle part tonight, so I guess it just ends here. But at least I got some of the sweater done. I still have to do the collar, but I'm really tired and I'm on my period and I just want to go to sleep, so I'm just gonna end this day here. Right now it is Monday, September 2nd, which means that this challenge is officially over. I ended up finishing 5 pieces, and then I had one which was almost complete. I was really close, but I didn't finish it, so I guess 5.5 pieces that I completed. You've already seen how all the pieces look like, but just as a refresher, I finished this hat for my friend. This is exactly how she wanted it to be. It's okay. This is for her, it's not for me, so I don't really have an opinion on it. This is the second piece I made for another friend. She wanted a cat beanie with star tassels. I feel like I could have done the star tassels better, so I probably might redo that, but in terms of the beanie, it fits good and it's just the colors that she wanted. I made 2 pieces from the hooks and needles subscription boxes I had. This one is from the Crochet subscription box, which is a cute headband. And this one is from the knit subscription box, which is a really cute cable knit mug cozy. I'm using this can of liquid death to show how the cozy came out because I don't have a mug that's long enough for this cozy, but it's really cute. And I was thinking that if I had put a hole in it, it could even be like a hand warmer. And then this sweater is the sweater that I didn't get to finish. I actually, on the back side, this is gonna be the front, I put the stitch markers where the graph is gonna be, but then I was like, I don't even have the graph designed out yet, so I was like, it's not gonna get done tonight. But I did the best that I could. It's pretty, it came out the exact size that I wanted it to, and all I have to do is put the graph on, so I think I'm gonna do that later and then just post it on my community tab and Instagram so you can see how it came out. And the last piece that I did, which is actually the first piece I did, is this celestial blanket. This is not my design at all. I just got inspiration from Pinterest. It came out a little bit bulky because the star granny squares were a little bit bigger than the other 2 in terms of how many stitches were on each side of the square. And I noticed that when putting it together, but I was like, I'm already too deep in now. I can't redo all these stars. The pieces that I weaved in, after taking this out the washing machine, they're all like sticking out, so I have to go through and sort of weave them in again. But it did come out really cute. It's definitely not large enough for like a full body blanket like I wanted. If I hold it up to my shoulders, it goes up to my knees, which isn't bad. It's really cozy and soft, and I want to use it as decoration for my room when I decorate for the fall. But yeah, I was really excited to start this challenge, and I started to get a little bit disappointed from how long certain pieces were taking, but then I had to remind myself that this is a slow hobby, like it's supposed to be slow and relaxing. So then I stopped stressing and just let the results come, like whatever I finish is what is gonna be finished. And I ended up finishing 5.5 pieces. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!